Well, this weekend was the WildRose Antique Show here in Edmonton, Alberta. It happens usually the weekend right after Easter, every year, once a year. So it's quite a big antique show. So I'm not sure, I would say over 50 vendors there. And it's quite a lot of fun. So me and my daughter figured, we'll check it out, and I thought I'd share some of it with you. It was a big show. So, of course, I'm mostly looking for things that I can use in my dollhouse. But it's always neat when you find these old photographs. And it also makes me a little bit sad because these are somebody's ancestors, somebody's family, and such a shame that nobody has claimed them for their own. So I think the Wild Rose Antique Collectors Society has been around for quite a number of years here in the Edmonton area. I remember going to shows as far back as 30 years ago. And I believe that this antique show is the largest one in Western Canada, which is really quite remarkable when you think about it. There's just such a wide, vast range of items that are at these shows. I noticed this year that there's less and less big furniture items, but lots of small items. And there's everything from what I would call more collectibles. So toys from the 70s and 80s, that type of thing. And lots of memorabilia and interesting things that are quite collectible. So, not everything that was here is actually a real antique, but lots of super interesting items. And of course, each booth is, they do their own pricing. So, each item that you find here is extremely unique and different. And it seems every year there's different vendors. So it's quite an interesting thing. So this particular case I really liked. You can see there's some Limoges, little table and chairs, and little plates, and the little tea service, which is really quite cute. Um, and I just love those little mustard spoons. Aren't they just lovely? And lots of sterling silver jewelry. So these are the little mustard spoons. You'll remember our friend Deb from Dollhouse Dilemma had a couple of these where she actually bent the spoon forward to make it into a ladle for her dollhouse. Extremely expensive here, though. I mean, it's just one of those items that you got to wait until you can find it at a decent price. So the lady that owns this booth, I've actually known her for a number of years. She used to have a store in St. Albert, which is a community just outside of Edmonton, called Grandma's Brooch. And she had, the most extraordinary antique and estate sale jewelry, just really super cool store. And then she used to have a peg wall in the back of the store that was just loaded with miniatures. And she's actually a miniaturist herself. So she has antique doll houses and all kinds of antique dollhouse furniture at her own home. And every time I see her, I give her my card and my phone number because she says she has antique dollhouses for sale. So we shall see. Fingers crossed one day I'll be able to get myself in the door so I could go and see some of her stuff. That would be just wonderful. I can only imagine the collection that she must have amassed over the years doing all of the antique estate sales that she's done over the years. She must have an incredible collection. So you can see I'm just looking at just all the bits and bobs, lots of toys. There was definitely lots of toys at this show. And I like nothing better than looking at antique toys. So I really like those teal plates. Aren't they beautiful? Just gorgeous. I would just love to have those plates in tiny scale. They're so brilliant and bright. So yeah, there's all kinds of stuff, a little bit of everything. And yeah, I'm just kind of going through and trying to film everything as I'm walking. So, some carnival glass and some beautiful buttons. And check out those moccasins, how worn those are. I'm sure they're before turn of the century, those moccasins. Yeah, I just love all of these items. And books, of course. I ended up turning off the video so that I could flip through all of these books. Very typical. And then this person here had all kinds of like Hot Wheel collectibles and cars and toys and oh, E.T. phone home. Isn't that cute? A couple little E.T. dolls and some tin toys. Some of those are replicas made in China, but yeah, some of them were the real thing. So, yeah, quite interesting to look at that. Look at the little pistols there. Now, you would never see that in a toy store today. Little kids are not encouraged to play with those today. So, this lady had some miniature furniture. It was made in Taiwan and extremely overpriced, but these were a really good price. So these are 1/48 scale furniture, and they're made out of plastic, and they had some really unique pieces. So they had 4 rooms. Each of the rooms were different. See, there's a little bedroom with a little bedroom suite. And at $8 a package, I think that's quite reasonably priced. Made in Hong Kong. I suspect these were from the 1980s. And yeah, at $8, I thought that those were a pretty good price. So I was quite thrilled to see them. Now, this is not a scale that I typically work in, but you can see the packages are still sealed, and they don't look terribly realistic the way they are, but easy enough to paint them up. And then these are all pencil sharpeners, and some of them, like this dresser for example, is like a perfect for a 1/24 scale, or you could use it even in 1/16 scale, and I think they're really cool. I really particularly like this little toilet. It's very well done. And they had a vast assortment. So the little green box that you see here in the background, that was also full of more. And see, she spelt miniature wrong. So they were $10 each. So yeah, I thought those were particularly good. I have used some of them in a dollhouse setting before. And I really like this little teapot that you can see now. It is huge. I mean, it's even bigger than Barbie scale, and it's made out of wood. But isn't that lovely, the way that's painted? I just think that's just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. And yeah, again, more jewelry displays. Oh, and I love that brown bean pot. Isn't that so cool? I would have actually bought that bean pot had I noticed it earlier, but of course now I see it after the fact and the show is over. So maybe next year, guys. So, and you can see, like, I mean, there's just a little bit of something for everyone, regardless of what you collect. So, yeah, I love those little die-cast cars. Those are so neat. The double-decker bus, and yeah, so some of it extremely well priced. Like this booth in particular, everything that you've seen here, it was all on sale for 50% off. And he had, I mean, you could stand here and go through these boxes for forever and still not see everything that's in here. So he had quite a selection. Look at these little snowshoes. Now, had they been just a little bit tinier, I think I would have bought them for $5. They're extremely well made, really different. So you don't see those very often in miniature, that's for sure. And yeah, lots and lots and lots of cars and little army dudes. Check these out, made out of lead. So yeah, he had a little bit of everything at this booth, but this booth seemed to be pretty crowded, so it was kind of hard to find find room to get in there and film. It was a little bit difficult because it was kind of wall to wall people, and it was the only booth that was really, really super, super busy here at the show. And you can see here there's a odd assortment of just a little bit of everything. Oh, I like that clock in the back there. That was really cool. And yeah, I just really had a good time. And of course, I always have a good time when I go somewhere with my daughter. She's a lot of fun to go shopping with. And she kept on saying, Mom, are you going to film everything? I think I was slowing her down. She likes to shop a little quicker than I do. But that's okay. I just kind of wanted to share this all with you because this is my kind of shopping, guys. I have to admit. Like, even if I found nothing whatsoever for my dollhouse stuff, I just really enjoyed looking at all of this vintage stuff. I would imagine that it takes a lifetime to be able to collect some of the stuff that some of these vendors have. Especially the lady from Grandma's Brooch. Boy, she had a huge, huge collection of stuff there. And I would imagine that's just the tip of the iceberg of the stuff that she's collected over the years. Oh, look at those moccasins. Aren't they beautiful? I love the beading on them. Like, that's very typical Western Canadian. And once again, another bunch of estate jewelry. Just beautiful. Just absolutely beautiful. And some beautiful native dolls. And look at those teacups and saucers with so much gold on them. Just absolutely brilliant. And more moccasins you can see there. And oh yeah, just a gorgeous display of all kinds of stuff. I just love looking through these things. So, first aid. Wow, so cool. And then focus on Calgary. So Calgary is a neighboring community to the south of us. And I'm just kind of looking, some collector's spoons. And this guy here, his collection was focused on money, so lots of older dollar bills and coins that are all Canadian. That's kind of interesting, I would think, for those of you that aren't in Canada. And then this guy had a vast collection of buttons and keychains and all kinds of stuff, little badges and see, Edmonton's Klondike Days and Fort Saskatchewan buttons and can openers and you name it. That was quite a collection this fella had too as well. And look at this picture. I don't know if you can see the light moves in it, so it looks like the Niagara Falls are moving. And a typewriter. Yeah, that's really cool. So, and this, I'm now on the other side of the antique show. This person had all kinds of little miniatures. So you can see the second from the bottom shelf, they had some porcelain miniature animals, which was kind of interesting. And then over here on this shelf, they had a selection of brass items. So they had everything from brass teapots to you name it. And yeah, and then on the bottom shelf here, they had little Mattel Littles from the 1980s. And look at these moccasins, just so beautiful. Those are really nicely made. Oh, just gorgeous. Look at the beadwork on those pink moccasins. Just absolutely beautiful. And the little baby ones, they're so cute. And this particular booth, I really like her items. She also has a booth at the Old Strathcona Antique Mall, so I have seen some of her stuff before. She's an extremely nice lady, and they have a doll show going on there next week, which I will also go and film at. And she actually brings a lot of miniatures to that particular show, so I'm kind of looking forward to that. These are all Wade pieces. So these pieces kind of tickled my fancy. Now you can see here, they're all from France, and they're all cake decorators or cake decorations. And I thought that they were extremely lovely. So she's putting them all out so that I can show you how cute they are. So they're just slightly smaller than the red rose tea whimsies that are made by Wade. So they're slightly smaller, and just beautifully painted. And I did end up bringing one of them home with me. I thought they were absolutely lovely. And you can see here some more miniatures are mixed in amongst this particular shelf. And one in particular kind of took my fancy, and I asked if I could bring it out of the case so that I could show it to you close up. I thought this was pretty neat. So, what it is it's a little dresser set that would go on top of your dresser. And I thought that was really quite pretty with the little tray. It's like really neat. And this one here was a particularly good display as well. Had lots of beautiful stuff. And there you go, Pat. There's a tin dollhouse here, and it was only $35. It's from the 1960s, and they had a little bit of Barbie doll stuff here. And I thought this retro Barbie kitchen was super cool. So, really neat and really super reasonably priced. And all kinds of stuff. Like, really, everything that your heart could desire when it comes to antique. Look at this miniature Lord's Prayer. So that was so tiny, like smaller than, I mean, the naked eye, you could not read it. And it came with like a little magnifying lens so you could look at it close up. And then this little baby doll, I thought she was really super neat. This dolly is a composite doll, which is basically kind of like paper mache. So she was really in good shape considering her age. And just a little bit of everything. Oh, I love those little Capodimonte porcelain flower arrangements. I could probably have a million knickknacks in my house, but the only problem with it is you actually have to dust it, which is that's what kind of holds you back. So I did end up buying this little Britton's. He's a little lead collie dog. I would say he would have been made between 1925 and 1935, and made in the UK. And I thought he was just absolutely in great shape for a lead toy. Some of the paint was missing off of him, but he had to come home with me. He's just too precious for words. And then I did buy one of those French cake decorations, and they were only $5 each. And she said they were circa 1920. I'm not quite sure. It might be quite a bit later than that, but I think she's quite clever, and she would look nice on the mantelpiece of one of my doll houses. Probably a little bit too large a scale, but I don't care. She makes me happy. I think she's just absolutely brilliant, and she's just got a sweet little face on her. She's so cute. So, yes, I spent a whopping $15 in total, and those were my two purchases, but I'm quite happy with them. I think, when things bring you joy, you should just buy them. And I think these two little items just brought me so much joy today. So, and also spending time with my daughter Jessica always brings me joy as well. So, we had a great morning out. If you enjoyed today's video and would like to help support my channel, you can do so by buying me a coffee. Just go to www.buymeacoffee.com/Lisa Dobo. I'd like to give a special thank you to everyone that has helped to support my channel by buying me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com. Please remember to hit that like button. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, please consider subscribing. And if you'd like more information about the WildRose Antique Collectors Society, you can reach them at admin@wildroseantiquecollectors.ca and ask them any questions that you might have. This is not the only show that they do here in Edmonton. They also do other shows in surrounding communities throughout the year. And it is a really unique way for you to add to your collections. I mean, it was such a lot of fun. So even if you don't collect miniatures like I do, there's all kinds of stuff for you to look at. And once again, everyone, have the best day ever. I had such a great day. Thanks, Jess.